Hi, I'm Bonnie Barker with BonnieBCrochet.com, and today I want to show you how to make the Uptown hat. This is the hat that goes to the matching tote that has appeared in the recent Crochet World magazine. For that information for the pattern, you can look in the video description below, and you can either get this pattern through the purchase of the magazine, or if you're a subscriber, then you don't even have to purchase anything, or if you just want the individual pattern, it is also available in my Lovecraft store. So if you just want to check that out in the video description below. Also, if you've never been to my channel before, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of the offerings coming your way. And also, if you could please give me a thumbs up and click the notification bell for future notifications. That way you won't miss anything. Well, let me go ahead and show you what you're going to need. For this project, I'm going to be using Lion Brand Yarn's Color Made Easy. This is 100% acrylic yarn. Let me give you the stats on it. This particular scan has 247 yards. Also want to draw your attention to the fact that it is a number 5 or a bulky weight yarn. Okay, the number of scans that you need is going to be listed right there across the bottom, as well as in the video description below. I'm also recommending that you have a scan of the Go for Faux. This is Thick and Quick by Lion Brand Yarns. And this is a jumbo size, number 7. This feels amazing, by the way. This feels even softer than it looks. Each of these has approximately 24 yards. And again, look across the bottom of the screen below, and I will tell you how many of these you're going to need for this project. You're also going to need a crochet hook size K, or 10.5 or 6.50 millimeters. And as always, I'm recommending that you have a yarn needle and a pair of scissors just to make sure. And since this is a size sensitive project, it's probably a good idea that you have some sort of a tape measure to make sure that you are getting a gauge properly. To begin, we're going to go ahead and start with our slip knot. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're now going to work a slip stitch in the first chain right down here so that we can make a circle. A slip stitch. And so now we have a small circle. Chain 1. And we are going to work 12 single crochets working right into the center of the circle. And at the same time, I'm going to actually be crocheting on top of this strand so that it will be hidden by the time we finish the very first round. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Let's double check to make sure that we have the correct number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Because the numbers, the math in this particular project is very important. Okay, so we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. And let's go ahead and trim this little loose end here. So it's already been crocheted around by 12 stitches. It's never going to go anywhere. All right, so now we're not going to turn. We're just going to continue crocheting. We're going to crochet a chain 1, and this is round number 2. We're going to crochet 2 single crochets in each stitch around. So that should bring our total up to 24. So 2 single crochets. Let's try that one again. 2 single crochets in each stitch. So go ahead and work that all the way around. At the end of this round, we also join with a slip stitch. Make sure that you're not joining to the join, but joining to the top of that very first stitch of the round, just like that. Chain 1. Now we're going to do round 3. And for this, we are going to work 1 single crochet where we just joined, okay, in that first stitch, and then 2 stitches in the next. And that's going to be the repeat. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 in the next. 1, and then 2. Now at the end of this round you should have 36 single crochets. At the end of round 3 we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet of the round, and this is what you should have. It is starting to get a little bit wavy, and the next round it will get even wavier. I just want you to know that that is normal and you should not worry about that right now. Okay, so for round 4 we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do the same thing that we just did with the last round. First, single crochet in the same place as joining. In the next stitch we work 2 single crochets, and this is the repeat. 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch, all the way around, and at the end of this round you should have a total of 54 single crochets. At the end of round 4, join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Now you should have a total of 54 stitches in this last round, and notice how wavy mine is. That is normal. This is going to all settle out in the next few rows, or rounds rather. Okay, so the next 2 rounds are going to be the same. So for rounds 5 and 6, we're going to chain 1, single crochet in the same place as joining, and in each stitch around, just working 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. After working those 2 rounds, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Okay, after joining, we are going to chain 1, and we are going to begin round number 7, which is going to start the lattice work or the diamond stitch. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start with a treble, but it's going to be 1, 2, 3 rows down. Now if you'd look with me at the join right here, so we're going to go to the 3rd row, 1, 2, 3 rows down, and we're going to go over to the 3rd stitch, 1, 2, 3, the stitch right there, and we are going to work that treble crochet around that 3rd stitch from the join. Okay, now we're going to skip 1 stitch, actually right here, the one we would have worked this one. So we're going to skip this, and we're going to work single crochets in the next 4 stitches rather. I was going to say 3, but 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're ready to work another treble crochet, and we're going to work it right next to the last treble crochet that was worked 3 rows down, right next to that stitch. Now we're going to work another one. We're going to skip 4 stitches down 3 rows below, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th stitch is where we're going to secure this treble crochet. Now back on the current round, we're going to skip the next 2 stitches, 1, 2, and in the next stitch we work a single crochet. And I'll tell you right now why we skip the 2 stitches, because that makes room for these 2 treble crochets. The stitch count is not going to change on this round from the last round. It's going to remain 54 stitches throughout the project. I just wanted you to see that we are skipping a lot of stitches here and there, but we're actually not decreasing the stitch count or adding to it. It's remaining the same. So we're going to work single crochets after those trebles in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work 2 more treble crochets, and the next one is going to be right next to where the last one was worked. Okay, and then skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then work the next treble crochet around that next stitch after you skipped 4 stitches. Back on the top round, 1, 2, skip those 2 stitches, and then single crochet in the next 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just stop and see what this should look like. Okay, so we're going to continue this all the way around. I'm going to work this a couple more times with you because I know this is complicated. Okay, so the next treble crochet is going to be worked right next to the last, where the last stitch was worked. And then again, skip 4 stitches down below, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then treble crochet in the next stitch. Skip 2 stitches back here, 1, 2, and then single crochet in the next 4. Okay, so go ahead and continue that all the way around. After working this all the way around, we work the last treble crochet, and after working that last front post treble crochet, we're just going to join with a slip stitch to that first treble crochet of the round. Chain 1. Now we are going to turn. The next 3 rounds are going to be simply working single crochets all the way around, but we will turn at the end of each round. So go ahead and single crochet in each stitch all the way around, and then after you join, turn to work the next stitch in the next round. So do that for the next 3 rounds. After finishing that 3rd round of single crochets, we're going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round and turn, chain 1. Now we are going to begin another round using the front post treble crochets. Okay, so what we're going to do first, we're going to first single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Okay, now after that, I just want you to get a good picture of where we are in relation to these stitches down here as well. Now we're going to work a front post treble crochet over the stitch that is right above this treble crochet. It's the single crochet. Again, it's 1, 2, 3 rows down, and we work that treble crochet. We're going to skip the 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, down on 3 rows below, and the next stitch should be right above this treble crochet. We front post treble in that stitch, and this is going to complete our diamonds. Back on the top round, skip 2, 1, 2, and single crochet in that next stitch. So this is how these diamonds are going to be formed. Okay, so we worked 1 single crochet here. We work 1 in each of the next, a total of 4 single crochets after that treble. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we are going to repeat this all the way around, but again, this is a very visual pattern, and you want to make sure that these trebles that you work are above a treble from 4 rows down. Okay, so we're going to work a treble crochet over the next single crochet. It's right next to where this last treble was. Front post treble. Okay, so now we skip the 4 stitches in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then front post treble in that next stitch. Just like that. Up on the top round, skip these 2 stitches, single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll show this to you one more time. Now we're going to front post treble in that stitch right next to the last post stitch we just worked. Skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then front post treble in the next stitch right there. On the working round here, skip 2, 1, 2, and single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and you should have a total of 9 diamonds all the way around. So go ahead and finish that round. After repeating this all the way around. We skip those last 2 stitches and we single crochet in the last 2 stitches on the round, joining with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round. So let's go ahead and see what we have. Okay, so you have the beginning of these diamonds all the way around the hat. Now we're going to chain 1, turn, and we are going to work 3 more rounds of just single crochet, 1 stitch in each stitch all the way around. So go ahead and work 3 more rounds. After joining at the end of those 3 rounds, we're going to turn and we're going to chain 1, and it's time for us to work a repeat of this row down here, which was the first row using the front post stitches. Okay, the front post treble crochets. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'll start you on this. We're going to skip the first stitch here and we're going to work a treble crochet right on top of, right on this stitch, which is on top of this last treble crochet worked. And we're going to skip that first stitch and then we're going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. After that, we're going to work another front post right next to this stitch over this single crochet, which again is over that treble crochet. Skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then front post treble over the next stitch, which is right above that treble crochet, front post treble. Skip 2 stitches, 1, 2, and single crochet in the next 4 stitches. And that's the repeat that you're going to work all the way around the top of this hat. And as you can see, this completes another diamond. Okay, so after we work this round, as you probably can figure from this point, in between each of these rounds with the treble crochets, you're going to work 3 rounds of single crochet. So we're going to continue in this pattern until we have 3 diamonds deep. Okay, so it's going to be 3 diamonds long. And you should try the hat on at that point to see how you are liking the fit and how you like the distance. Okay, this is what your hat should look like after you've worked 2.5 diamonds. Okay, so we have 1, 2.5 diamonds completed along this hat. And go ahead and show you what it should look like. Again, this is the crown. And now we're about to work the ribbing along the bottom edge. And the first thing we're going to do to begin this, we are going to, I'm going to go ahead and show you doing this actually. After that last join, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to work half double crochets in each stitch along the edge. So go ahead and work that round of half double crochets just like that. At the end of the round, we're joining with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round, chain 2, and this is what you're going to do for the next 3 rounds. We're going to alternate front post double crochet and then a back post double crochet. I'll do that again. Front post double crochet followed by a back post double crochet. Front post double crochet, back post double crochet. So go ahead and work that all the way around. Okay, at the end of this round, we're going to join with a slip stitch to that first stitch of the round and chain 2. Now this is where there might be a slight difference in your preference. I'm going to add 1 more round of the front post double crochet, back post double crochet, just like we worked. And what I'm recommending is after this round to go ahead and give your hat a try and see if you like where the ribbing comes
when you put the hat on. Now, some people are going to want to work this round plus an additional round of ribbing. And many of you will be content to just stop at the third round of the ribbing that I'm showing you here, with the first round being the half double crochet and then the 2 rounds of the front post, back post double crochet. So go ahead and make one more round and then take a pause and give the hat a try and see if you like the fit. And if not, if you need an extra round, then just work an extra round. At the end of this round, I'm just going to join with a slip stitch and give it a chain, give it a tug, and I'm going to go ahead and clip a generous strand here so that it makes it easier to hide in the work. So go ahead and pull that nice and tight. And I only needed 3 rounds of the ribbing for me. I believe that's quite long enough. But again, if you're making this for a man, you wanted to make this a little bit longer, you can certainly add another round of ribbing should you need. All right, so for this hiding the loose strand, just give you a quick tutorial. You just thread that yarn needle, and I like to hide this on the inside. Make sure that's pulled nice and tight. On the inside of the stitch, I'm just going to go down into this, again on the back side. And what's really cool about this ribbing is it's really easy to hide these loose strands in the ribbing and hide them really well. So I'm going to go ahead all the way down there, pull that in so that knot is gone. And then I like to go back up through the next little section here. Okay, I think that's going to be good. And pull that, make sure you give it a little tug there, and time for the sharp scissors. Very carefully cut the thread, but make sure that you're not cutting the stitches around the thread. Okay, so we are done crocheting our hat. If you'd like to add the optional pom-pom, stay tuned and I will show that to you coming up next. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make a pom-pom, and I'm going to be using this Clover pom-pom maker. And let me go ahead and get a measurement on this for you. This one is approximately 3 inches wide. Okay, so I know they do make a variety of these, and you really don't even need this. You can use cardboard if you like. I kind of like using this because I think you get a better pom-pom out of the deal. Okay, so to use this, let me just show you real quickly. They are 2 pieces, and you actually pull this apart at the end. And I just wanted to show you how the pin goes, because these are really confusing for me at first. When I bought them, I had to look up to find out how to operate them. Okay, so if you open one side, let me show you that both sides do open. Okay, we're going to start with one side, and there are a variety of ways to do this. So for this fur, I'm going to be using this faux fur, and I'm going to try to hold this together, and I'm going to wrap around this part, and I'm going to wrap 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I'm going to close this part, and now I'm going to open this part on the other side. We'll bring this over here, and let's wrap 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and then we're going to close that. Okay, after wrapping the yarn around the pom-pom maker, now we are going to cut the yarn. Now notice that in the middle, where these two are put together, there is a place to put our scissors right there. So I'm going to cut through all the yarn on both sides of the pom-pom maker. And if you have a larger, sharper, sharp pair of scissors, this will probably go a lot faster. So I'm going to cut one side. After completely, make sure you completely cut all of the yarn there. Okay. And then we're going to cut the other side. So after we've completely cut the yarn around the pom-pom maker, we're going to take a string, and I'm actually going to use some yarn that's left over from the making of the hat, since we're going to be hiding this in the hat or the purse or the Uptown tote, whichever you are working on. And go ahead and I'm going to tie this. I'm going to tie it very tightly. Okay, now that is, I'm going to pull it really tightly. That's securing it to the center. And I'm going to do that again as tightly as I can, but without breaking the yarn. And I'm going to do it a third time just to make sure that it stays. Okay, now we are ready to separate the pom-pom maker. Okay, and it looks like I missed a piece of yarn. I'm going to go ahead. Oh, no, I didn't. All right, there we go. And then we pull it from the other side. Okay, I did miss some here. And if you did, that's okay. It's easy to do that with this particular yarn. Okay, so it does look a little rough right now. It looks like there's been a cat fight here in my soft box with this yarn. It does leave some fluff behind, so you have to probably take it outside and shake it a bit, which is what I'm going to do. And you go ahead and trim it up just a bit as well. The couple of long pieces that were left. If I can get, there we go. Maybe fourth time's the charm. There we go. And then here's a longer piece here. I'm going to just go ahead and trim this. Okay. I think the rest is good to go. So you can see this is going to fluff up once I work on it. And this is how you make your faux fur pom-pom. And so now all we have to do is run this through the center of the hat, and I will show you how to attach that right now. Okay, in order to attach the pom-pom to the hat, what we're going to start off with is, let's go ahead and trim these strands back just a little bit, because we don't need them to be as long as I made them originally. Okay, so now we're going to thread both of these into the yarn needle. Okay, should be fairly easy to do. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is we need to bring this to the underside of the hat. So I'm going to turn the hat. Actually, I'm putting the needle in there. I'm going to pull it through. So it's going to sit like this on the hat. So what we're going to do is on the inside of this hat, I'm going to just simply run this underneath the strands of that first round of the hat. Okay, this may take me a couple tries. It's a lot of strands to be pulling through there. Okay, and one thing we want to make sure that it's not showing on the other side, so I'm going to be feeling with my thumb excuse me, here on the other side to make sure that it stays on the inside and that this needle does not show on the outside. Okay, and it's on there pretty tightly. So after that, I'm going to just go around again, and I'm just going to knot this. Just pull it through here, and just give it a nice little knot, and that should be enough. So after tying that knot, I'm just going to run these remaining threads under a few more stitches, just like this. Okay, and give it a trim. And we should be good to go. There we go. Our pom-pom is securely, there we go, I can see better. Our pom-pom is securely attached. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what this looks like.
Well, I hope you enjoyed making the Uptown hat with me today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That would really bless me. And if you could hit that subscribe button, you won't miss any of the new offerings coming to my channel. Also, don't forget that there is also a matching Uptown tote that matches the hat. Should you be interested in that, go ahead and check it out on my homepage. God bless. Bye-bye.